Hey guys, I'm back with a new video. As I told you guys before, I uploaded my life story in Spanish. For those who don't speak Spanish, I'm gonna upload it again in English. So, I was born at 5 months and I weighed 1 pound 1 ounce. When I was born, since I was so small, the doctors gave me a shot to make my lungs develop faster, and due to that I got cerebral palsy, but my mom didn't know. My mom didn't know what was happening. For her, everything was good. Like, she didn't think anything was wrong. And when I started growing, that's when she started noticing that I wasn't sitting, I wasn't talking, I wasn't walking, I wasn't even crawling, I wasn't doing anything. So she would go to the doctor's appointments and she would be like, hey, my daughter isn't doing this, she's not talking, she's not doing what other babies do. Why is that? And the doctors would be like, oh, because, she'll do it. It's just going to take her time to do it. So she said, okay. She went back home and it was the same thing. I was being seen by a physical therapist, but she didn't know why. And there was this one time that a therapist came to my house and my mom was like, my mom asked her why it was that I wasn't walking, and she was like, you don't know what's wrong with your daughter? And she was like, no, I don't. So she took me to therapy, like all the way to the therapy at the hospital, because she like had to walk to the hospital at that time. She took me all the way to the hospital, and the therapist was giving me my therapy, and my mom asked her why I wasn't walking and why I wasn't talking. And when the therapist heard that, she was like, you don't know what's wrong with your daughter? She's like, no, I don't. What's wrong with her? I was 2. At that time, I was 2. She basically told her that I had cerebral palsy. So when my mom heard that, she was shocked. She walked to the car, she cried. I had no idea what was going on because I was 2. I don't think any 2-year-old remembers what happened. So, sorry. I'm kind of sick and shaky for some reason. But, she cried in the car, and then after that, it was like therapy appointments after therapy appointments. Every day, literally, she would walk me to the hospital so that they could, give me my appointments. So, during that time, it was an everyday thing, and I started school. Everything was good in elementary. Yeah, everything was good in elementary. When I got to middle school, that was the thing that was, that was the thing that was hard. It wasn't hard. Okay. It wasn't hard because, my older sister went with me for a little bit. I was in 6th grade. She was in 7th. No, I was in 6th. She was in 8th. She's 3 years older than me. So, during that time, I wasn't getting bullied, right? I wasn't getting bullied at all. Everything was fine. Everything was okay. I remember there was this one time that she got in a fight with my teacher. Not a physical fight, right? But a verbal fight because she wanted to take me out, and I was in trouble because my best friend and I, we were like idiots back then. And I forgot what we did, but we got in so much trouble. So we both got detention. And she was like she goes into the classroom and she like grabs my wheelchair, and my teacher goes, she's like, "Where are you taking her? She has detention." And my sister was like, "Did I ask you? I came to get my sister, and I'm gonna take her because she's gonna come out with me and you're not gonna stop me." And the teacher was like, "I'm gonna give you a referral if you don't leave her in here." And then she was like, "Alright, well then give me the referral." So we walked out. Well, you guys get it, right? She pushed me out of the classroom. She ended up getting a referral. I ended up making up the detention because both my best friend and I were like, "This isn't right. We have to make up our detention," you know? So my sister had gotten in the argument with her because she wanted to take me and the teacher wasn't letting her. So it was good, like, while she was there, but then she graduated. And that's where everything started going downhill. Luckily, we moved to Vegas. I was there for like the beginning of my 6th grade and half of my 7th and 8th grade was 8th grade was I spent it in Vegas. So I made friends and everything, and it was good for a little bit. Like, after there was this one guy that was always picking on me and was always startling me and was always, and my friends, the ones who were with me, they were like, "Hey, stop picking on her," like, they're my best friends to this day. They were like, "Stop picking on her, get a life, leave her alone." So he kept on picking on me and picking on me and picking on me, to the point to where he asked me, he was like, "Hey, why do you always jump?" And I was like, "I'm not gonna tell you, because if I tell you, I know you're gonna start doing whatever you can to make me jump because you think it's funny." I hate being sick. And he was like, "No, I promise I'm not going to. I'm not like that. I'm a good person and it's not gonna happen." And me being the innocent little 8th grader that I told him, I was like, "You know what? I have cerebral palsy, and because of that, my left side is like kind of paralyzed in a way. I have limited mobility, and I startle." They had told my mom it was gonna go away when I was 5, but here I am and it still happens. So I told him. He was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "I told you because, I trust that you're not gonna start scaring me. You know, I trust that you're not gonna start scaring me, and I know that hopefully you." Sorry, guys, hold on. I was like, hopefully you understand that you can't be scaring me." And he's like, "Yeah, I understand. I'm not gonna scare you. Everything's gonna be okay." So I was like, "Alright." So I told him. The next day, I go to school. He starts slamming books. He starts, you know, um, scaring me on purpose. Um, he starts scaring me on purpose. And you know how when someone creeps up on you, like, you can't do that to me at all, because if you creep up on me, I'm gonna get I'll cry. Like, everything scares me. Like, everything scares me. So um I was like, no. I was like, you can't creep up on me like that, because I'm obviously gonna get scared. So he'd be like he do little things like that to scare me every single day. He would creep up on me. He would slam books. He would do a lot of things, and then he would tell other people, oh, you guys should scare her, because it's it's funny. And I was like, nah, you guys shouldn't do that. And my friends, my best friends, they were like, oh, this is nasty. Time out. I'm sorry. All right. Um, my best friends, they were like, don't scare her. That's not cool. Don't be doing stuff that she asked you not to do when she trusted you enough to tell you to stop. And so, thank you guys, Adeline, Stephanie, Sandy, Raquel, all of you guys for sticking up for me. You guys are awesome, and I hope to see you guys soon when we go to Vegas, because I miss you guys. So they were the ones to tell them to stop, but they didn't. And so they didn't stop. And then there was another girl named Kimberly. She had just came to school, and we automatically became best friends for some reason. I don't know why, but we became best friends for some reason. I haven't heard from her. I haven't talked to her. I haven't done anything, because I can't find her on social media, or else I would. After that, I don't know what he did, but I got to the point, because it was every day. Like, it was an everyday slamming books. It was an everyday sneaking up on me. It was an everyday thing. Like, every time somebody would walk in, if I was doing my work, I was not able to concentrate because I was scared. Because I would be like, man, these dudes are gonna slam books to scare me, and they're gonna laugh at me, and it's gonna cause unwanted attention, and I don't want that. I was like, I don't want that, so I'd rather not concentrate. So I didn't concentrate because I was so scared that they were gonna do something to startle me, because it was this one guy and a group of friends that he had that were always scaring me. So it got to the point to where it was super bad. They were like yelling, they were screaming, they were laughing, they were slamming books, they were doing everything to scare me. And there was this one time where I told my best friend Kimberly, I was like, hey, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. But I could not hold in the tears anymore, because I was like, this isn't fair. Like, why am I getting picked on? Like, it's not fun to pick on somebody that has cerebral palsy or any type of special need. It's not cool. Like, don't do that. So I went to the restroom, and I just broke down. Like, it was horrible. Like, my best friend could hear me because I was crying. Because I told her, she's like, I'll go with you. I'll wait outside the door for you. So I was like, okay. Because she knows that I have trouble with my balance and all of that stuff. So she was like, I'll go with you and I'll wait for you outside the door just in case you need to, like, you need help walking back or something. So I was like, all right. So I went into the restroom and I started crying. And I took a while in the restroom. And it got to the point to where she went to get the teacher. And then she was like, hey, Alila's crying and I don't know why. So the teacher knocks. And and she's like, hey, can I come in? And I was like, yeah. So I opened the door. She comes in, she closes it and locks it, and she's like, what's wrong? I was like, I'm just tired of being scared. Like, I'm tired of people always, slamming books, purposely scaring me, sneaking up on me, making fun of me, making jokes. I don't like it. So she was like, are you okay? At that point, I was hysterically crying because it was horrible. I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, it was horrible. And she's like, are you okay? And I was like, no, like, it's not fair. I don't know why they think it's funny to scare me on purpose. And I don't know if that was bullying, but I considered it bullying because it hurt. And it literally hurt my ears. Like, every time someone scares me, I have a little like, have you ever heard those little loud squeaking noises? Okay, well, I have that in my ear every day if someone scares me. So he did that. I almost choked. See, this is my life, guys. I choke on the cough drop, and yeah. She was like, what do you want to do? I was like, I just don't want to be here. I want to go home. Like, can I go home? She's like, I could send you to the nurse's office so that you could cool down. And I was like, all right. So they had someone push me because I didn't have my power chair at that time. They had someone push me to the nurse's office, and I was hysterically crying. I was like, I want to go home. So I called my mom, and it was horrible. That's my little brother's music. It was horrible. Like, I called her hysterically crying. She was like, why are you crying? What's wrong? And I couldn't tell her because I couldn't breathe. I was like, I couldn't breathe. So she was like, what's wrong? Why are you crying? I was like, I don't want to be here. Just pick me up. Please pick me up. I don't want to be here. Just pick me up. Please pick me up. I don't want to be here. So she was getting ready to get the keys. And I honestly didn't even hear what she said. But I'm guessing she was getting ready to get the keys because I was like hysterically crying and nobody could calm me down. Everybody was trying. My best friends were trying. Everyone was trying to calm me down and it just wasn't working. So I was talking to my mom and I was like, Mom, I don't want to be here anymore. Please pick me up. I couldn't breathe. I was like horrible. And she's like, why? What's wrong? I was like, I just don't want to be here. I'm tired of being scared. I'm tired of being made fun of. I don't want to be here. Just pick me up. And she started getting ready to get her keys because I heard her, because I have supersonic hearing, unfortunately. I heard her starting to get the keys and tell my sister, hey, get ready because we're going to go pick up Alila. So, she started getting everything ready and I wasn't able to talk, so the nurse took the phone and she was like, my mom gave the phone to my sister because she only speaks Spanish, and my sister asked what was wrong and she was like, she's just having a bad day, she'll be okay. And I was like, I'm not gonna be okay. I'm trying to go home. I don't want to be here. What part of I don't want to be here do you guys not understand? She was like, she'll be okay. We got her. They hung up the phone, right? And then, like every school does, they took me to the principal's office, and the principal asked me, "Hey, what's wrong?" I was like, I can't. Like, I don't want to be here. I'm tired of people always picking on me and always finding ways to purposely scare me when I've specifically asked them not to in a nice way. And they were like, okay, we're gonna talk to him and everything is gonna be okay. So I was like, alright then. They talked to him. 2 days later, he was back and it was the same thing. He kept scaring me. He kept doing everything. He kept doing everything he could just to see me jump so that he could laugh. There was this one time where I was dating this guy, and they started picking on him because he was dating me. And so I felt bad because I was like, dang, I can't even, I can't. Other people are getting made fun of because of me. It's not cool. So that happens. He keeps on scaring me. He keeps on doing everything to like purposely be like, oh, I scared her. She's gonna fall. She's gonna do this. It's gonna be hilarious. So my best friends at the time, they were like, don't worry, we got you. Everything's gonna be fine. So I was like, all right, I trust you guys. I trust that nothing is gonna happen. So I was like, all right. He kept on scaring me every single day. And it got back to that point where I was like hysterically crying again. And I went back to the nurse's office to call my mom. I went back to call the nurse's office to the nurse's office to call my mom. And they didn't let me again. They said, just make another incident report and everything's gonna be okay. So I was like, alright. I made the incident report. This was my second time. This is how you know everything wasn't even, because this was my second incident report and nothing had happened. Right? Nothing happened. So I went back and I told them, I was like, you know what? This person's scaring me and I don't like it. I just don't want to be here. Like, let me go home. I want to go home. I don't want to be here. So once again, they talked to him. And they were like, you need to stop because it's not cool to make fun of her or to laugh at her or to do something purposely to scare her. And so they were talking to him, I guess. I don't know what they were talking to him about, but he ended up getting in trouble. He ended up getting suspended for, I think it was a week, because I didn't see him for a week. I saw his brother, and I was cool with his brother because his brother was like, he was cool. So I was like, hey, where's your brother? And then he's like, he got suspended because he kept on scaring you. And I was like, oh, I'm not trying to be mean, but thank God. And he's like, nah. I understand. That was rude of him, and I apologize. I was like, you're not the one that should be apologizing to me. Your brother is the one that should be apologizing to me. So he comes back from his week suspension, and he's like having a heart-to-heart conversation with me. Like, he's like, hey, I'm really, really, really sorry that I kept on scaring you. It's not cool on my part. Um, I'm really, really sorry. I hope you accept my apology. I hope you can forgive me. I know it wasn't right. Um, I don't know why I kept on doing that, but I don't think it's fair. And his eyes got watery. So I was like, it's okay. I was like, it's fine, you know. It's fine. Just when I ask you to please stop, it means please stop. It doesn't mean keep going and keep doing what you're doing and making it worse. I was like, don't be doing stuff and making things worse. And he was like, nah, I understand. Coco wanted to be on camera. Say hi, Coco. Say hi, Coco. This is my dog. Um, he was like, it's not cool on my part, and I truly apologize. I promise that it's not gonna happen again. So I was like, all right then. I was like, all right. Okay. I accepted his apology, and since then, thank God, he stopped. I have no idea what was said to him, but thank whoever told him to like get himself under control, because it wasn't cool. And it stopped right there. You know, I graduated middle school, thank God. Freshman year comes, right? I'm a freshman. Everything's good. Everything's really good my freshman year. Somewhat. I was 14. Um, it was really good for a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know what happened that I lost my memory. I was I was 14. You guys saw that she almost fell, right? I was 14 when I lost my memory. Nobody knows why. Nobody knows the cause of it. Nobody knows anything about it. So, my mom just said that I stopped sleeping for days and nights, and I wouldn't sleep at all. Not even for a little bit, not even in the morning. And I'm guessing it got to the point to where I was hospitalized for 3 months. And in those 3 months, I was seeing psychiatrists, I was seeing psychologists, I was seeing gynecologists, I was seeing whatever kind of doctor you guys can think of. I was seeing everybody, and nobody knew what was wrong at all. To this day, we don't know what was wrong. I missed school for 3 months. There was this one guy I was terrified of, and am terrified of. Like if I see him in the street, I'll shake from how bad I'm scared of him. I don't know why, but I mean, I considered him my brother in the beginning, you know, because he was always there for me. He literally did everything with me, you know. He walked me to the nurse's office he walked me to the nurse's office. He took me to the bus. He did everything, literally everything. And during that time, I lost my memory. Nobody knows why. Nobody knows anything. Nobody knows nothing that happened. Mind you, I was 14. They were talking to the doctors, and they gave like a horrible diagnosis. And my parents were furious. They were like, no, you guys are crazy. You're crazy. She's only 14. you're crazy. You guys are on something. And the psychiatrist, I'm guessing, was talking to my mom. I don't know. I haven't read the paperwork. I don't want to read the paperwork. All that's in the past. I'm not trying to, you know, relive any memory that was blocked in my mind because of it was just blocked for some reason. Um, there's a lot of paperwork, and there was a maldiagnosis, and my mom was like, "You guys are crazy," and my dad was super, super, super mad. Um, they were like, "You guys are wrong. You guys can't do this." It got to the point to where the psychiatrist was like, "We're gonna take her to a mental home. We're gonna take her to a mental home because we don't know what's wrong with her." And my mom was like, "No, you guys are gonna give me my daughter, and I'm gonna take her. Just give me something so that she can sleep, and so that we can get like at least an hour of sleep." So they made her sign papers. They made her sign everything. I was able to go home. I did not know anybody. I didn't even know who took me home. I wouldn't eat. I wouldn't do anything. Like, I had no idea who anybody was at all. And so my mom was constantly on my watch because for some reason I was able to do things that I cannot do right now. You know, I was able to walk perfectly. You can't tell that I'm disabled if you look at me, but you can tell if I get up and walk. And my mom was like, "Girl, during that time, you were able to walk so perfect that we were like, what the heck? You even walked in heels, okay? You walked in heels." And I was like, "You're lying." I was like, I have never walked in heels." And then she was like, "Yeah, you did. I swear you did." And I was like, "No, you have to be wrong. But I mean, if you say it happened, then it happened." Guys, it's been my dream to literally be able to walk in heels. But I can't. I can't walk in heels, and it sucks because, the day I get married, I want to walk in heels. I want to walk down the aisle in heels. I want to be able to, but I can't. So I'm just going to have to, see, I have a plan to get, customized shoes. If my future husband has enough money to, customize shoes, I plan on doing that. I don't plan on wearing heels because, let's be real, I can't walk in heels. My mom was like, "Girl, you wanted to drive. You wanted to drive a car. You thought you could drive a car. You literally, you walked out the room in heels, like high heels, like 6-inch heels." I was like, and then you were like, "Give me the keys. I'm gonna drive." And you walked out. And I was like, "I don't remember doing that." And she was like, "It's okay. It's better for you not to remember." So I was like, "All right." So I don't remember any of that. And she said, "You wouldn't be calm until we took you out so that you could just get a ride, all we did was ride you around the corner and that's it." And I laughed and I was like, "That's funny. You guys literally tricked me into thinking that I took a whole ride." Excuse me, I'm sorry. I can't breathe. My nose is super clogged. It's not fun. So that's what they did. You guys can't tell me prayer does not work. That is something I will not allow you guys to say, because the only thing that got me through it was prayer. Every single day, it was a prayer that got me through it. Um, I had decided to get homeschooled because I was scared. I didn't want to go back and I didn't want to face that person, you know? I was terrified of going back. So I had decided to get homeschooled. I was like, I'm not gonna go back. I'm just gonna get homeschooled and that's it, you know? So I was like, alright, decision made. That's it. Homeschool, here I come. So I decided to get homeschooled. And after, I was like, wait, no. I was like, no. I literally looked in the mirror and was like, you are not going to give them the satisfaction of not seeing you walk. That's what they want. They don't want you to graduate. They don't want you to do anything. Okay. Freshman, sophomore, and junior year. Sophomore and junior, I think my sophomore year I don't remember, because sophomore year, I mean, I was in the hospital for 3 months. And freshman year I was in the hospital for 3 months. So I don't remember what happened. But junior year, I don't even know what happened junior year, to be honest. I had decided to get homeschooled. I've said that like 100 times, but yeah, I decided to get homeschooled. And my dimple. And I was like, all right, no more school. I'm done. I'm not getting homeschooled. And at the time, I had a best friend named Daniel. I still consider him my best friend because he was there for me when I was terrified. I would have panic attacks in school. Senior year comes around. And I decide that I'm going to go back. The summer before, I decided I'm going to go back, I think I decided that I was going to go back the summer before. So, mind you, I don't remember what day I decided to go back, but I went back to school because I was like, you know what? I'm not going to give them the satisfaction to be like, we got what we wanted. She's not in school anymore. She's not in our way anymore. You know, we got what we wanted. We won. So, after that, I'm sorry. After that, I went and I bumped into the guy. I bumped into the guy. I was like getting ready to take my ID picture for senior year. I was shaking horribly. I was shaking. My mom dropped me off at school that day. I didn't take my power chair that day because I was so terrified. I didn't take it, and I had friends that were able to push me. So like they pushed me through the campus. And tell me why my first period class, I go in and the person I'm terrified of is there. Okay, he's there and I'm like, oh my god. I was like, oh my god, I'm terrified. I just don't, like, I freeze, I shake, I can't do anything. So my instinct was like, you know what, get out of here, go to the office. So I did that, and my best friend was like, hey, so and so is here, are you okay? As soon as I saw him, I thought about you because he makes you have panic attacks. He has you terrified. and I don't think it's fair. So I went to the office. I was crying hysterically because I was so scared. I was like, Mom, take me home. I don't know how, but I texted my mom and I was like, Mom, he's here. He's here. And I cried. I was like, he's here. I don't want to be here. Can you come pick me up? And I have no idea how they got there so fast, but as soon as I texted them, this was in the morning. It was like 10 a.m. around there. It was in the morning. I have no idea how fast they got there, but the office door opened and they were already there. I was like, wait. I was like, that was fast. And so Daniel, my best friend, was like at the office with me, and he was like making sure I was okay. And I was telling my mom, I was like, Mom, he's here. And I was telling my dad, he's here. I don't want, I was like, I just don't, I don't. I can't even talk right now because it's even hard for me to say. I lost my train of thought. Give me a second. I was terrified. I didn't want to go back. My mom was like, don't worry. We're not going to leave your side until he's gone. Don't worry. So I was like, all right. I have no idea how they found out. I'm guessing they had sent a letter or something, because everybody knew. Everybody knew that I wasn't able to sleep. Everybody knew. My teachers were able to, like, they were like, you want to take a nap? Take a nap. Like, they wouldn't even tell me anything if I fell asleep during a class. They would just let me sleep through it. And when I saw the guy, I was terrified, and my mom was like, don't worry. We're going to make him leave. He's not going to come back. We promise that we're not going to leave until he's gone. So I was like, all right. So I go out, and he's still there. And my parents were like, don't worry. We're right here with you. We're going to walk you to class. If we have to sit in class, we're going to sit in class with you. And I have no idea why, but I was going to the nurse's office because I had to go to the bathroom. I was going to the nurse's office, and he said, I bumped into him again, and he's like, hi, Lila. And I was like, hi. But I was terrified. I was like shaking so bad. And that's when I texted my mom, and that's when they got to the office. I come out of the office. They're there. My parents are there. There's police officers there, and they literally escort him off of campus in handcuffs. I was terrified, to be honest. I did not want to be there. I did not, But May 23rd comes around. May 23rd, 2013 comes around. The day of my graduation. I'm like, yes, I made it. I graduated. I'm not gonna, I stopped going to school because I don't want to get bullied. I'm not about to get bullied again. I'm not about to lose my memory again. I'm going on 3 years clean. Like, memory loss wise. Everything has been fine for 3 years, and I'm trying to keep it that way, Every day, the people that came for prayers prayed over me, and every time I would lose my memory, they would be like, where are you guys at? We're gonna go pray for her. And so every time it happened, they were there. So you guys can't tell me prayer doesn't work. You guys can't tell me that God and the Virgin Mary do not exist, because I'm telling you firsthand, they do. They helped me, you know, get through everything. I remember this one time I was wearing shorts, and he was like, my nephew was like, "Hey Tia," at the time my nephew was like living with me, and at the time he was like, "Hey Tia, why do you have scars on your legs?" And I'm really, really, really self-conscious. But I thought it was cute because, here's an 8-year-old boy saying, "Hey, why do you have scars on your legs?" So, him being my nephew, I answered him. I was like, I got a surgery because so it can help me walk. And he was like, "Oh, cool. Do we have them too?" And I thought it was so cool. Like, super cool, because my nephews and nieces are my life. My sister has always been by my side through the good and the bad. Thank you, sister, for always being there for me. I miss you. I can't wait to have you back here. And yeah. My nephew asked me if he had them too. I was like, "No, Papa." He's like, "Oh, so you have them?" And so that's time senior year, I went into school in shorts because it was hot, and I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna wear shorts." But I didn't think that somebody was gonna be like, "Hey, I'm self-conscious of my body as it is because I have scars, the way I walk." People always ask questions that I'm like, I'm willing to answer. I'm willing to answer the questions if they're not that personal. Like, if you guys want to know about cerebral palsy, write to me on YouTube and tell me, "Hey, I want you to explain what cerebral palsy is." During that time, I wore shorts to school, and there was this one guy that said, "Hey, I don't mean to be rude, but your scars are showing." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I was like, I'm sorry if it bugged you, I apologize for that." So I always carry a blanket around, and as soon as he said that, I grabbed my blanket and I covered my legs, because I was like, it made me feel more self-conscious than what I am. It made me think. I was like, why am I always getting judged? I got this surgery because it helps me walk. Thank God. I'm grateful to God and the Virgin Mary because they helped me get through it. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. And if it wasn't for them, I would be in a mental house. But I'm not. And after that, like I said, I graduated high school. I walked. The only thing I have is my high school diploma. And honestly, I don't care because I'm not getting bullied. I'm fine. I'm having fun. I'm making blankets. I'm making beanies. I'm doing everything I can to keep myself busy. I'm going to church. I'm singing in choir. It's actually really fun. Choir is really fun. I love it. Choir is like my life. Singing is my life. So yeah, I graduated and I never went back to school. So here's the thing. If you see somebody that has special needs, don't make them feel bad, okay? Because, like I said, it makes us self-conscious of ourselves. If you guys have questions regarding our disability, we're gonna be happy to like help and answer your questions to the best of our knowledge. But don't make us feel like we're really different when we're not. In my case, I was always made to feel in school to feel different because I was always jumping, you know, and I was always getting startled, and it sucked. Don't make don't make them feel bad. If you see somebody that has special needs, if you have questions, and if you're really that curious, you can just be like, hey, I have a question. Um, is it fine if I ask? And if they say yes, then go ahead and ask. But if they say no, then don't. Okay? No is no. Um, it's just not fair. It's not fun. It hurts. I'm telling you guys, it hurts. It put me in a hospital for 3 months. Okay? It's not cool to always get those questions asked, to always get the, oh, I'm sorry you're disabled, I'm sorry you're paralyzed, I hope you get better. No, we don't need pity. We don't need pity. What we need is to be accepted as who we are. It's not okay for you to judge someone by their cover. It's not okay for you to be like, oh, I'm gonna make fun of this person because they startle. No, don't do that. Don't make us self-conscious. Don't make us not want to be here. Because I got to the point to where I didn't want to be here. And to this day, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore, you know? And I suffer from depression because everything I went through. I suffer from severe depression. I suffer from anxiety. I have cerebral palsy. I have a lot of stuff going on. And I'm here to tell you that if you guys are going through something, it's okay. You guys will make it. I made it. And I was put in a hospital for 3 months with no with no recollection of my memory or anything. Be nice to each other, be kind, treat others with respect. Don't be rude to them. Love each other, show each other respect. Don't go around bullying people. It hurts us. It hurts us. It doesn't matter if you have special needs or not. It's not nice to bully. It makes some people think, it gets some people to think, hey, maybe it'll be better if I'm gone, you know? And I'm here to tell you if you're considering that, it's not. Life is so worth it. You guys have so much to experience. There is a lot for us. You know, we live in a society that isn't accepting. But if we don't accept ourselves, who is gonna accept us? You know? I'm working on accepting myself because I'm gonna be honest, I don't accept myself the way I am. I question God. I'm like, why? Why me? You could have chosen anybody else, but you chose me. Why? You know? If you see someone with a disability, talk to them, you know? Make them feel welcome. Talk to us. We're not no strangers. We're not some freaks that are gonna harm you. We're just like everyone else. Love each other, treat each other with kindness, and that is my life story for you guys. I'm sorry I took so long. It's 54 minutes. I apologize I took so long, but I just wanted to get through every single detail of my life that I remember. Please be kind. That's all I'm asking. Be kind. Don't judge anyone. If you see someone in a wheelchair that can't push themselves, offer help. Just be like, hey, do you need help? And if they say no, be like, okay, and walk away. You don't you don't have the right to help them when they don't want it. Like, if they don't want the help, don't give it to them because they want to do it themselves. If they ask for help, then okay, it's okay to help us. But don't go around asking unnecessary questions. Don't go around saying you're sorry because they're paralyzed or disabled or can't walk or anything. Be nice. Oh, I almost forgot about something before I forget. When I was in high school, the first time they saw me walk actually, was when my power chair broke down. It broke down and I was in the Q building. So I was in the Q building and I had to get to the F building. So my power chair got stuck in a hole that I couldn't get out of halfway through. I was like almost there, but I don't know what happened that, I landed in a hole. It was stuck. I couldn't get it out, so I was like, dang it, I'm gonna have to get up and walk. So I got up and walked. And I opened the door and I get the, oh my gosh, you can walk. I'm so happy you can walk. It's so cool that you can walk. And I was like, yeah, I told you guys I walked. Yeah, it's not something you guys should be surprised about. So I ended up telling my friend, I was like, hey, my power chair is kind of stuck all the way over there and I can't get it out of the hole. So my friend and his cousin literally go outside. One of them is sitting on the chair because they're gonna drive it, and the other one is like picking it up out of the hole to bring it back to me. That day was so cool, man. We had free time. I had Takis and the teacher was like, hey, it's free time, you guys can have whatever you guys want. So I pulled out my Takis and I offered to the teacher and he was like, no thank you. So I offered the other kids and they took some. And so yeah, point of it is, be nice, be kind, and don't judge anybody by their covers. Alright, see you guys soon. Bye guys.